Leaders from around the world gathered together in Manila for this year's Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or Apec Economic Leaders Summit. The 23rd Economic Leaders Meeting was held at the Philippine International Convention Center in Pasay on November 18 to 19, 2015. US President Barack Obama, China's President Xi Jinping, Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe were among outstanding leaders attending for APEC 2015. The 21 APEC members, which are referred as member economies, account for approximately 40% of the world's population and approximately 54% of the world GDP and about 47% of world trade. The main APEC objective is to boost trade and inclusive sustainable growth in the Pacific Rim. As a conclusion, APEC leaders reiterated that the region should pursue an APEC-wide free trade agreement instead of being divided into US-led and China-led trade blocs. In their declaration released on November 19, the APEC leaders said the APEC-wide deal, known as the Free Trade Area of the Asia-Pacific or FTAAP, must build on regional agreements like the recently concluded US-led Trans-Pacific Partnership or TPP. The US-led TPP aims to be the world's largest free trade area involving 12 parties that are also APEC members. China, however, the world's second-largest economy, is not part of the original members. TPP members include Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, New Zealand, Malaysia, Mexico, Singapore, Peru, the United States, and Vietnam. Obama and the 11 other TPP leaders met at the sidelines of APEC in Manila, their first meeting since the deal was concluded on October 5. Each member of the TPP, however, must have the deal ratified by its respective legislator for the TPP to come into force, a process estimated to take between 18 months to 2 years. The TPP is the economic component of the US policy of rebalancing military and economic attention to Asia. The APEC leaders said they welcome the progress in the TPP, but they also said officials must ensure that regional trade agreements complement and strengthen the multilateral trading system. Asia-Pacific leaders are voicing outrage over the attacks in Paris as security and geopolitical concerns overshadowed talks on trade and economy at the annual summit. Leaders of the 21-member Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum condemned the Paris attack in a joint statement. The attacks by suspected Islamic State group extremists killed 129 people and wounded 350 others. Victims were from at least 19 nations, according to French President François Hollande. During the APEC meeting, China's territorial ambitions in disputed waters of the South China Sea were also weighing on the minds of foreign ministers who met in Manila.